It's beer o'clock on Reload Craft Beer. Today we've got a bottle of Swannay Brewery Imperial Stout coming in at 8% ABV. Kindly sent to us by our channel sponsors ImperialBeerClub.com. Imperial Beer Club is a £42 a month club where you get 10 beers. 10 beers get sent to you every month and you don't know what they are. So, nice little bit of a surprise every month. So check the link in the description box of the video for Imperial Beer Club. Let's get this Swannay Brewery Imperial Stout out into a glass and see what we get. Nice gold coloured bottle cap. Here we go. Nice bit of smoke on the opening. Beer in the glass then. The reason I hesitated, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Look, it's a black beer. The guys over at Imperial Beer Club will probably realise what I've done here, and I do apologise. It wasn't thought through properly. One finger, tan coloured head, jet black, a beer in the glass. Let's get the aroma. Ooh. Vanilla, chocolate, coffee, caramel. A little bit of fig and plum in it as well. Raisin. Chocolate raisin with just been dumped in a touch of whiskey, I think. Little bit of lactose maybe, I'm detecting in the aroma. Let's dive in. Cheers, everyone. Oh. Wow. Wow, that's fantastic. That is really, really nice. Good mouthfeel. Yes, probably some lactose in there. A nice, rich, dense, creamy beer with some nice carbonation just to help lift it a little bit and push the beer round inside of the mouth. Cocoa, cacao nibs, vanilla, lactose, chocolate, milk chocolate somehow, with some bitter chocolate as well, and some nice coffee, bitter coffee flavour in the beer. But what's really impressive is that really nice, they got this, they're based out in Orkney, I believe, yeah, the Orkney Islands. And they're very, very near Scandinavia. It probably was Scandinavia for a time back in the day. It probably was either Norway or something like that. But they got this smack on. This is what I call a Scandinavian style Imperial Stout. It's got a fantastic looking head. Look at the dark, not dark, but the tan coloured head on the beer. Good lacing. Look at the way the carbonation chases the head of the glass. That's a sign of a really good quality beer and the sign of a really nice kind of dense, medium bodied beer. Just rich, it's rich and thick and lovely, and I've mentioned this a few times before, but I'll mention it again. If you have a coffee, with a coffee you expect a little bit of a rich, dense mouthfeel. Same with chocolate, solid to begin with, and then it kind of melts in your mouth to become a thick, dense, creamy mouthfeel. and it all kind of triggers in your mind. It kind of all comes together. You think, I can taste chocolate, I can taste coffee, all coming from the roasted malt mind in the beer. Not that there's added coffee or chocolate, it's from the roasted malt. But it gives you that sense of... What I'm trying to say here is if this beer was thin and watery, it wouldn't work, because chocolate's not thin and watery. Neither is coffee, unless you buy it from a greasy spoon and it comes out with a chip on the mug, that type of coffee. But generally, it's, you know, if you have a good cup of coffee, it's got a good creamy, rich mouthfeel to it, and it helps pass the beer as a style. It helps fit everything together like a perfectly well put together jigsaw. I really like this beer. I really do like this beer. There's some nice raisin and plum and fig on the back end. There's a touch of vanilla. It's a cracking beer. Let's rate it. Do you know, I think that is one of the most underrated, under the radar. There probably isn't an awful lot of people out there that know about this brewery and how good this Imperial Stout is. If you were to order this and try it, I think if you were to think about an Imperial Stout going forward and trying it and buying it, then I think you would think Imperial Stout, you might think of this. This is a fantastic example of an Imperial Stout. It's really, really good, and it's bang on the nail at 8% ABV as well. I'm going to rate it. That's got everything. And everything is in balance, everything's in tune, everything's working. The malt's playing the pipe, and the hops are playing the guitar, and everything's just in tune. It's all playing like a good brass band. What do they call it? That man who does this with the brass band. He's doing his job really well, and he's saying, you do that, and you do this, and you do that, and it's just working really, really well. He's got his band in tune. This beer is fantastic. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! And cheers.